Hello, Room 9. I've just been reading and watching your book reviews, and it inspired me to do my own. So, this is a book that I've been reading in the holidays, and I've actually just finished, and it's called I Am Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You may know or you may not, but Zlatan Ibrahimovic is a very famous football player, and that's part of the reason why I chose to read this book. He is a man who I've watched on the television many times. He always struck me as a really fiery, crazy guy, so I thought it'd be interesting to read about him, and it was. The book is written by a man called David Lagerkrantz, so even though it's Zlatan Ibrahimovic's book and his story and his experiences, the book's actually written by another man, so obviously Zlatan would tell that man about his experiences and it would be written by the author. I really liked the book. It was attracted to me because of the football aspect, obviously, and him being a footballer, and I like football and I'm interested in it. But a lot about what is really interesting and what is most interesting about his life was outside of football, like the way he was brought up very poor, how he learned to play football on the streets, not actually in games. How he had brushes with the law. I know that when he got very rich and very famous, he bought a very expensive Ferrari car and he drove insanely, and he got in trouble with the law and the police around that, and other things. So he definitely hasn't had the easiest and calmest life. My favorite part of the book was a bit where they talked about his mansion that he lives in and the house that he ended up in. And it's full of all this nice furniture and all this amazing design, and his wife is a bit of a designer, so yeah, the aesthetic of the place is beautiful. And then there's this big poster on the wall, and it's just these two ugly, disgusting feet, and I think I've got a picture of it right here. I'll just try and find it. There you go. And that is on the wall of Zlatan's house, and he says in his book that the reason why there is a picture of his two grotty feet on the wall is because his wife didn't want him to have any photos of himself or his achievements or his accomplishments around the house, because everyone always wanted to talk about it and those things, and it was very boring. But the one thing that they did put up is those feet, because if it wasn't for Zlatan Ibrahimovic's feet, they wouldn't have the riches that they have. So those feet are on the wall to symbolize what built the house, and the house was built on the success of Zlatan's horrible, disgusting feet, as you can see over there. So that was my favorite part of the book. I thought that was really interesting and quite funny, actually. I give the book a 5 out of 5. I thought it was really, really awesome. I actually read another autobiography a few months ago called Open by Andre Agassi, which is very famous and was a very good book, but this one was as good, if not better. It was very, very interesting. And the best thing about it was, even if you're not a football fan, I would still suggest that you could get a lot of entertainment out of this particular book. Yeah, so there you have it.